last tone, Central European time, will be 10 p.m.
Do you know where your children are?
And now, we invite you to go from Broadway to Hollywood. From Munich, the American Forces Network Europe brings you music from the Broadway stage and the film spectacular as we take you from Broadway to Hollywood. Here is your musical guide, Neil Fontaine.
Today's program covers another trailbreaker of a Broadway musical. It was perhaps the first musical to deal with the American teenagers' hero worship of the rock and roll stars of the late 1950s and early 1960s. It is Bye Bye Birdie, Rosie and Bye Bye Birdie.
For the past 30 minutes, we have taken you from Broadway to Hollywood. From Broadway to Hollywood was produced in the Munich studios of the American Forces Network Europe. Be with us again next week at the same time for more music of the Broadway theater and the film spectacular with your musical guide, Neil Fontaine.
This is Gerry Fry, Director of Programming for the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service Worldwide Network. In January of 1967, Frank Breese brought his Golden Days of Radio program to the Armed Forces Radio, where it has entertained millions of U.S. Department of Defense personnel and their families around the world for over 2 decades. AFRTS listeners have heard most of the top stars of radio, including Bob Hope, George Burns, Red Skelton, and Milton Berle, plus mysteries such as The Shadow, The Whistler, and Suspense. Today, the Golden Days of Radio begins its 25th year, thus becoming one of the longest-running shows ever on AFRTS. Not many programs achieve the longevity of a quarter of a century. On behalf of the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service, I'd like to pay tribute to Frank Breese and his Golden Days of Radio program for this milestone in radio history. Continued good listening on the Golden Days of Radio.
Remember the golden days, the entertaining nights of radio.
Hi, this is Frank Breese welcoming you to our 25th anniversary show. As you probably know, each anniversary, I select and feature radio bloopers, and this year is no exception. So stay tuned for an hour of fun on the Golden Days of Radio. Well, that concludes our 25th anniversary show. The commercial references were for entertainment and are not endorsed by the Department of Defense. Here's another American success story. This man was born in Massachusetts in 1924, the son of an Italian shoemaker. In his youth, he was only interested in a career as a professional baseball player. Before graduation, he quit high school and worked as a ditch digger, a dishwasher, and a truck driver before joining the Army in 1943. In the service, he discovered his tremendous boxing abilities And after the service, he entered the ring as a pro in 1948. In 1952, he became the world heavyweight champion. He remained undefeated until he retired from the ring in 1956. His name, Rocky Marciano, the Brockton Blockbuster. This is Frank Breese inviting you to join me next week for more from radio's Golden Days.
In 1975, popular songs reaching the #1 position in Billboard magazine came to a grand total of 35. I'm Specialist Roger Williams in Frankfurt, and in the next 3 hours, we're going to be looking at some of the artists and listening to the music of 75. The very first week of 1970.
It's 7 o'clock in Central Europe.
Good morning. Time for AFN News on this Thursday, the 7th of August. Your submersive host.
Charlie Tuna coming back at you for another 60 minutes in the radio. Well, I have a nice thing to say about our friendly neighborhood service station. At least they haven't taken advantage of these energy short times. For instance, yesterday I drove in, I got 10 gallons of gas, and they only charged me $1 a gallon. $1 a gallon. Well, they did tack on $5 for labor. That's going to have to can it for another Charlie Tuna show. Thank you very much for sharing another 60 minutes out of your day with me. Before we say our goodbyes, a special hello to all our friends and listeners in Sonderstrom, Greenland. And stay tuned.
This is the American Forces Network, Europe.
That's Gerry Fry along with little help from Ronnie Montrose on studio guitar. That's a title track from the 1976 LP, Dreamweaver. Hi, I'm Air Force Sergeant Rick Delisle, and from the Berlin studios of AFN Europe, it's time to do it again. Program's called Old Gold Retold. Until 11 o'clock tonight, we got solid gold for you. 1976, Elton John, an island girl. He's touring Central Europe right now. An interesting thing is that Nigel Olsson is back. He was some years ago working as the drummer for Elton John, and then split off for a solo career. Had a hit a couple of years ago called A Little Bit of Soap, and now is back for this tour with Elton John. Check with your local USO Rec Center or ITT Tours office for information about that. The show is over, folks. You've been listening to Old Gold Retold, and I'm Air Force Sergeant Rick Delisle, reminding you that rock and roll is just a state of mind.
The swingin' years, a time for big bands, a place for dancing. There was dancing at Barron's Resort in South Haven, Michigan, at the Three Deuces in Chicago, Illinois, at the Black Horse Inn in Estes Park, Colorado. They were wiggling and jiggling at the Ocean Beach Ballroom in New London, Connecticut, at the Coliseum in Davenport, Iowa, at Zuka's Ballroom in Redondo Beach, California, at the Madrid in Corpus Christi, Texas, at the Manhattan Grill in Sarasota, Florida. All of it to a background of music of the swingin' years.
Jim Pewter, glad you channeled in. You're becoming a habit with me, huh? Memories from the past. That's what I present. Here's Rockin' Jerry Lee. Whoosh. Shake and Stomp. I'll see you tomorrow. Top 7 countdown from 64. This is Jim Pewter signing out. Straight ahead, don't bunch up. Bye-bye now. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Hi, this is Roger Carrol, and I play. Hello again from Hollywood. It's a Roger Carrol Thursday, and the best sounds in town. Thank you. I'm plucking on the old strings there. Will about do it for this Friday Whoopee edition of the RC Get Together. Along with my crew, all 4 of us, thank you for the use of your time. We shall do it again on Monday. Have a good weekend. See you then.
Well, here we are on a Thursday. This is Gene Price. How are you? Here's Andrew Willis. Here we go, Don Palmer, a little bit of the Flint Hill special, and it's time for us to carry it on out on a Friday. Hey, listen, thank you much for listening, for joining us all week. Do want to hear from you. Card a letter to the station to which you're listening. It'll get to me, and I'll get back to you, and thank you much. Have a big weekend. Take care. Goodbye. God bless you. Hang in there, and above all, stay loose, and I'll see you on Monday. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Welcome. Bob Kingsley with the Friday music from AFRS. Deep Purple kicks off the hour.
Losing my religion. I only mean that figuratively, I think. That's REM, and that's for starters on a Tuesday here at Armed Forces Radio. Gonna keep on rolling now with Pat Benatar.
Wolfman Jack.
Goodness gracious, alakazam, it's Wolfman Jack with a bim-bim-bam. I know you ducking people out there, I know you just been going crackers waiting for the old Wolfman to show up. Well, I hear, let's get ready.
I wonder where Rick could be. It's not usual for him to be late for the show. I wonder where he is. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Hurry up, Rick. The whole world is waiting for you, Rick. Okay, you made it.
And now, big band sounds on 88 FM, the best in Berlin.
Come on back, Rick. You don't have to leave. Hi there, gang. We're back again with the only show on radio that doesn't rock. We swing. We swing with those big bands and singers. And this is your host, Mark White, all set to take off with some of the best tested music around. And we'll be with you, believe it or not, for the next solid 2 hours in super stereo. So don't go away, because I don't like to be alone. Yes, there's the big bands each and every week at the same time on FM 88 from AFN Berlin.
Forward! All aboard! This is your invitation to hop on the Finch bandwagon as we take a musical journey with the big bands, direct from the 30s, 40s, the fabulous 50s, and into the sensational 60s. The Finch bandwagon is presented through the worldwide facilities of the American Forces Radio and Television Service. And now, here is your host, Bill Finch.
A Valley Cat.
12:10 in time for that show. It's called Lutchin' and Muchin'. Here we go. Well, hiya, man. It's 12:10. May I come in? You got lots of stuff, man. Yes, indeed. This is Bob Kelso. All steady and ready. Knock out the tops and bobs and spotlight those bands at your command. So what do you say, gang? Lean back, relax, and listen to our wax. After the next Nifty 50, we beam your way more of that luncheon from Muchin'.
Time now to go a-bouncing in Bavaria. Our spacious studio way in AFN Munich, it's time to go bouncing with the 14 Ramblers as they play our new theme, Bouncing in Bavaria. Yep, we're really going bouncing in Bavaria. Yeah, we're really kicking them tonight. It's your old chief bouncer right here riding herd on 14 guys. Lined up right in front of the microphones and ready to take off with a bouncy tune entitled Lucky Number.
We're counting down the 40 top recording acts of the 1970s.
And on we go with our special countdown of the year's 100 biggest hits. This is American Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem, and we're up to number 75. This is the American Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem. You're listening to our 1982 countdown of the 100 biggest hits of the year. We'll continue in a moment with number 75. So stay right where you are.
That wraps up this copyrighted edition of the Golden Days of Radio and our salute to AFN, the American Forces Network, on this 45th anniversary. You know, I've always felt during the past 22 years of doing these shows that there's something special about broadcasting a program for the Armed Forces Network, something that makes me very proud. Just to know that the music and the comedy of a few decades ago can even now bring a laugh or a tear. You know, there's a lot of pride in displaying the flag or standing in a ballpark singing the national anthem. And there's just as much pride in broadcasting these programs on the AFN. After 45 years, this network helps keep our country great and strong and free. And I'm proud to be a part of it. This is Frank Breese in Hollywood, California, saluting AFN.
Hiya, fellas. This is Jill and the jukebox and another record session known as G.I. Jive. Every record in this AEF jukebox spins at the request of you men all over the world. And from the looks of today's lineup, we got more music than time, so we'll get right on the beam with Bob Crosby leading his Dixieland Band in the South Rampart Street Parade.
Command Performance, USA. Presented this week and every week till it's over there. Okay there, gang. This is Harry Von Zell reminding you that it's time to join us once again for another session dedicated to answering your requests to Command Performance, Armed Forces Radio, Los Angeles, USA.
Gunsmoke. Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke. Gunsmoke, presented by Army in Europe magazine, the monthly feature magazine for the usurer soldier and civilian.
Yeah, and a great big hi to you. It's time for another session of your late night final. Parts 1 and 2. This is Private Bob Smith sitting in for Airman Howie B, who usually takes the stick around this time of night. Howie's down at Wiesbaden, trying to hit the brass for a promotion. Let's hope he gets it. And let's hope you stick around your radio for the next hour and a half for your requests on Late Night Final, huh?
This is the place. This is the time. This is the first of a new series of old programs called Music's No Mystery. Howdy, troops. This is the first of an occasional evening series of broadcasts on the premise that music's no mystery. During these get-togethers, we'll play records from our Munich studios, make a little chin music about the people who make music. Tonight's subject, for instance, is a mystery man. Not that there's anything really very mysterious about him. See if you can guess the identity of the guy who's responsible for the 4 records we'll play tonight.
Ooh, look at Mom. Here comes the duffel bag man. 10 minutes after 12 noon, and time once again to open up the duffel bag. I love that theme song. Hello all, a brand new day, a huge stack of your cards and letters, and about 15 of the top platters of the day. And the guy holding the bag, duffel bag that is yours truly, Corporal Marv Stanton, throwing out a swing invitation for you to join the party. And there goes Eleanor. If you ever want to know what happened to Eleanor, well, you just write in. We might bring up Eleanor another day. Well, right now, we got to make with the Tootsies and run off, I guess, so let's make with a great big old theme song, just like this. Uh-huh, which means it's the end of the duffel bag. that's all we can pull out of the bag today. We'll have it filled tomorrow again with your cards and letters, plus the top tunes of the day. Remember to write in to the old duffel bag, AFN Frankfurt, APO 757, United States Army, Germany. And now this is the guy left holding the bag, I guess, Corporal Marv Steinman, reminding you that the best thing to have around you is friends.
Hi there, Dad, and you too, Sis. Welcome once more to a little disc and data emanating from the Melody Merry-Go-Round. This is your musical host, PFC Dick Bowman, extending that strictly formal invitation to that strictly informal little gathering we conduct here every day, Monday through Saturday, from 12:10 till 1 o'clock. So why don't you stick around for this flight? Who knows? Maybe we got your favorite on today. Now it's time to pack our shellac and hit the track. Now, before we have to take off, I want to remind you that it's been enjoyable from this end, so I hope you got a few kicks, too. And don't forget to write APO 154, AFN Stuttgart, the Melody Merry-Go-Round, or the 1210 Record Show. Good buddy Pete Stevenson will be on here tomorrow afternoon, spreading all this musical good cheer from the 1106 spot on your dial. And I'll be back to see you Monday afternoon at 12:10. Till then, goodbye.
Air Force Sergeant Ted Turner here with just about 1 hour of music for you out there. So let's go to lunch, huh? Well, that's about all the time we can spend with those beautiful girls from Berlin. Air Force Sergeant Ted Turner here, wishing you the very best for your luncheon there. And we'll be with you tomorrow at, shall we say, 11:30, when we say, come in for lunch.
These are audio tracks for use in coverage of the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service 50th anniversary, May 26, 1992. There are 15 cuts. Cut 1, an Armed Forces Radio Service network ID from the World War II era, runs 8 seconds. Begins in 3, 2, 1.
This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Cut 2, Bob Hope on Command Performance from World War II era, runs 37 seconds, begins in 3, 2, 1.
Thanks from America to all our men in blue, our boys in khaki too, our tough Marines, our Coast Guard, our Army nurses true. We thank you so much. Fellas, this doesn't rhyme, but one of these days soon we'll be seeing you. And meantime, this is Bob Hope thanking you for those letters to Command Performance, Armed Forces Radio, Los Angeles, USA. Speaking for everybody on Command Performance and saying the best of the best from the USA. So long.
Cut 3, an Armed Forces Radio Service newscast circa 1960 with Doug Llewellyn, runs 26 seconds, beginning in 3, 2, 1.
You're tuned in to Final Edition, the top news of the day from the AFRS newsroom in New York City, the news capital of America.
Good evening. Tonight, Final Edition includes reports from Paris, Hong Kong, and Washington. This is Army PFC Doug Llewellyn reporting the top story of this day from UN headquarters, New York.
Cut 4, an American Forces Vietnam Network promo from the Vietnam era, runs 15 seconds, beginning in 3, 2, 1.
This is AFN, serving the American fighting man 24 hours a day from the Delta to the DMZ, with transmitters in Quang Tri, Da Nang, Quy Nhon, Pleiku, and Nha Trang.
Cut 5 is an AFRTS jingle, The Voice of Home, circa 1970, runs 11 seconds, begins in 3, 2, 1.
AFRTS, The Voice of Home.
Cut 6, an AFRTS jingle, Music Machine, circa 1970, runs 19 seconds, beginning in 3, 2, 1.
He's the sole survivor of the all-American heavyweight music machine. on AFRTS. More music. American Forces Radio. American Forces Radio.
This is the American Forces Network, Europe.
In 1983, get yourself fit to win.
This is AFN, Stuttgart. This is AFN, Stuttgart.
At the last tone, Central European time will be 10 p.m.
Do you know where your children are?
News World, AFN's Total Information Service.
National and international news, Gerry Fry reporting.
News World, AFN's Total Information Service.
Good evening, Airman Pam Windsor, AFN News.
This is the American Forces Network, Europe. You're required to carry a first aid kit and warning triangle in your car. Taking a look at items available in the Help Wanted section, the Stuttgart area CPO is presently accepting applications from U.S. citizens for the position of Recreation Specialist, UA-7. This is a temporary position until September 30th, and interested applicants should apply at the MAF section of the Robinson Barracks Civilian Personnel Office. That's the non-appropriated funds section of the Stuttgart CPO. This is AFN, Stuttgart.
At the last tone, Central European time will be 10 p.m.
Do you know where your children are?
News World, AFN's Total Information Service.
National and international news, Gerry Fry reporting.
This is the American Forces Network, Europe.
This year marks the centennial of relationship between the U.S. and Korea.
If you live in the Bitburg area and like to tinker with cars, you'll be glad to know that the Auto Hobby Shop at Bitburg will now be open on Sundays from 1 to 6 p.m., Mondays from 4 to 9 p.m., Tuesdays through Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Fridays from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. For more information about the new hours, call the Hobby Shop at Bitburg Military 7518. This is AFN in Kaiserslautern.
It's 11 o'clock in Central Europe. The news is next on AFN.
Good evening from the AP and UPI, national and international developments.
American Forces Radio. American Forces Radio.
This is AFN Kaiserslautern. It's 4 o'clock in Central Europe. By satellite from the United States, the news is next on AFN.
Network News. I'm Ed Tobias.
This is AFN, Stuttgart.
At the last tone, Central European time will be 10 p.m.
Do you know where your children are?
News World, AFN's Total Information Service.
National and international news, Gerry Fry reporting.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is AFN News. We have just received a bulletin from the wires of the Associated Press and United Press International. Peking Radio reports that Chinese Communist Party Chairman Mao Zedong died today. The broadcast said Mao died of an illness at 1:10 a.m. Peking time. The announcement was made in a Peking Radio broadcast monitored in Tokyo, and that was made at 9 o'clock Central European time. Details upcoming at the 10 o'clock news. This is AFN News.
With you 24 hours a day, we're the Tower of Power, AFN Nuremberg.
It's 4 o'clock in Central Europe. By satellite from the United States, the news is next on AFN.
AP Network News. Good morning, I'm Cynthia Heck.
If you operate or repair trucks, tanks, or other heavy equipment, get in on the oil analysis program. You'll be forewarned about internal engine problems in time to turn costly, time-consuming major overhauls into inexpensive minor maintenance jobs. How does it work? Simply send in an oil sample to a lab. If there's trouble brewing, they'll find it now. An oil sample takes only 4 to 5 minutes with a convenient kit that includes a pre-addressed mailer. So send in a sample today.
Bavaria Lands, Tower of Power, Music Radio, AFN Nuremberg, and Drive Time.
Let's pretend you're out of the service and you'd like to set up a business or build a home or perhaps buy equipment for your farm. Thank goodness for VA Bennies, you say. The next step for you to do is go by the nearest VA office and apply. But wait. Did you get a dishonorable discharge? Sorry.
You are on the sea. Tonight and every night, you'll hear views and interviews on the sea. Good evening. This is Herb Glover in Frankfurt. 1970 marks the 50th anniversary of radio. And
Jay Gray, the man at the head of that band, one of his early ones, Crew Cut. 25 minutes to 7 o'clock, or at least it will be in about half a minute. I have the weather forecast here, according to those who are in the know on the weather. It's going to be partly cloudy, with increasing cloudiness tonight. Looking out our window right now, it seems to be quite clear, so it is going to get more cloudy. And the present temperature, 35 degrees Fahrenheit, of course. Maximum 60 degrees, minimum 45.
Now, the AFN Sports Page.
Arizona and Idaho are college football bowl game winners. Hello again, everyone. This is Ken Allen.
Gate 75 Wives in Munich will sponsor a Crystal Factory shopping tour to Kufstein, Austria on Tuesday, November 2nd. A bus will depart the Perlacher Forst Family Theater at 8:30 in the morning and should return around 5:30 that afternoon. Fees may be paid to Diana Groth, Building 335, Apartment C5 in the Perlacher Forst housing area. The sign-up deadline is tomorrow.
Hello, John. I see you're going to the dinner dance tonight, too.
Yes, Martha. I love these dinner dances sponsored by the Order of the Eastern Star. They're so lively and interesting. Well, please, after you. Why, Martha, what on earth is the matter?
This is no Order of the Eastern Star dinner dance?
Of course not, silly. This is the Order of the Eastern Star dinner disco.
The Augustine chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star with a dinner disco October 30th at 7:30 in the Gaststätter Schuster. Call Augsburg Civilian 402-457. Augsburg Civilian 402-457.
Did you buggy with your baby in the back row of the movies?
Now, John, don't be fresh.
I'm not at all fresh, Martha. I'm just trying to keep from going senile.
Stay tuned for news coming up shortly on AFN in Munich. We'd like to remind you about the AFRC Chiemsee Tours office. They have several tours of interest. On Friday, there's a tour for some Christmas shoppers, and on Saturday, there's a tour to Salzburg. You can get further information from the AFRC Chiemsee Tours office. That was Yvonne Elliman with Love Me. News next on AFN.
Psst. Hey, lady.
Who's there? And what do you want?
It's me, Dirty Harry, and I got a deal you can't refuse.
Oh, what kind of a deal?
There's a ladies' exercise class being held every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 in the morning until 11 a.m. at the McGraw Gym in Munich. What's beautiful about it, there's a voluntary instructor, so the class doesn't cost a penny. You better take advantage of it.
That sounds wonderful. I think I'll go and sign up right after I listen to AFN Munich.
It's 3 o'clock in Central Europe.
AFN News from the wires of the AB and UPI.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan Allen, AFN News reporting. The U.S. dollar slipped a bit on the Frankfurt money market today, but although today's fix of 2 marks 40.62 is fractionally lower than yesterday's, tomorrow's military rate of exchange will remain at 2 marks 39 to the U.S. dollar. And that's news from the wires of UPI and AP. The next news at 4, I'm Dan Allen reporting.
Boy, are these night marches a drag.
Yeah.
Oh no, another chemical attack.
Here we go again.
Hey, myopic, come on. Time to start marching again. Leave your mask on. What are you walking those trees for? You blind?
I sure am without my glasses. I can't fit them under this mask.
Well, go to the eye clinic and get prescription mask lenses.
Can you do that?
Sure. Hey, watch out for that. Oh! Cliff.
Looking now at the weather forecast for Munich and southern Bavaria, mostly cloudy skies this afternoon with fog and haze. We'll have light and variable winds. The low tonight about 32 to 39 degrees and the high tomorrow 45 to 50. Tomorrow we'll have continued cloudy skies with fog and haze throughout the day. Presently, under overcast skies, it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 degrees Celsius.
Ladies and gentlemen, specialist Harry Little on AFN Munich.
American Forces Radio.
Hi, this is Scott Brown with information about the Armed Forces Recreation Centers, and we'd like to pass on a special invitation to you right now to see the AFRC Ski Information Show. This traveling multimedia show will be in Munich on November the 2nd and in Augsburg on November the 4th and the 16th. The show features a complete ski equipment demonstration, a display of the latest in ski clothing for the 1976-77 ski season, ski movies, and an AFRC ski information slideshow. Also offered are door prize drawings for complimentary ski lessons and lift tickets at AFRC ski areas. Information on all AFRC winter activities will also be available at the AFRC Ski Information Show, as well as detailed information on skiing in Garmisch, Berchtesgaden, and Chiemsee. Hope to see you there at the AFRC Ski Information Show when it comes to Munich on November the 2nd and comes to Augsburg on November the 4th and the 16th.
A checker by special request. The Bad Aibling Center is having a Halloween party for children in grades 1 through 3 on Saturday. It begins at 2 in the afternoon, and everyone is reminded to wear a costume.
Just to be close to. Here's what's on at the movies.
At the Family Theater in Munich today, it's Win, Place, or Steal. It stars Dean Stockwell, and it's rated PG. A Walt Disney picture showing at the McGraw Theater in Munich. It's Bill Bixby and the G-rated The Apple Dumpling Gang. At the theaters in Augsburg, first at the Long on Sharon and Concern, it's Billy Jack, a PG-rated film with Dolores Taylor. Shampoo is showing at the Flack on Flack Concern. It's an R-rated film, and it stars Warren Beatty. At the Garrett on Reese Concern, it's Echoes of a Summer. It stars Richard Harris, and the film has a PG rating. The Kino Corner Theater in Bad Aibling is closed this evening. At the Flint on Flint Concern in Bad Tölz, it's Roger Mosley in the PG-rated Leadbelly. At the Watsman in Berchtesgaden this evening, it's A Reason to Live, A Reason to Die, a PG-rated film starring Telly Savalas. At the Alpine in Garmisch, it's Lies My Father Told Me. It's a PG-rated film, and it stars Len Bierman. At the Chiemsee Theater at Chiemsee, the movie is Airport 1975. It stars Charlton Heston, and it's rated PG. And that's your Wednesday Movie Memo.
American Forces Radio.
It's 24 minutes after the hour of 3. Hey, here we go. All right, more music on AFN. Ensure a fun-filled afternoon, Friday, for your children at the Kinderland Nursery's Halloween party. To make reservations for the party, call Munich Military 6262. The fun begins at 2:30 Friday at the Kinderland Nursery.
My name is Cora Louise. I'm an administrative assistant and a recovered alcoholic. I came to Alcoholics Anonymous 15 years ago after spending many years with a psychiatrist trying to find out why I drank. Since I've been in AA, my life has changed completely. It's filled with positive things. AA really works if you want it to.
There's an AA meeting tonight at 7:30 in Munich at number 33 Kalbachstrasse in room 108. Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies with fog and haze this afternoon and continuing through this evening even. Light and variable winds this afternoon. The low tonight around 32 degrees, the high tomorrow about 50. Tomorrow we'll have continued cloudy skies with fog and haze throughout the day. Right now it's 7 degrees Celsius, 45 degrees Fahrenheit under overcast skies.
Forces Radio.
The time in Munich is 3:32. Oh, you're gonna miss my love. You'll never find another love like mine. 25 minutes before the hour, and the hour will be 4 o'clock in a little while. In the next 25 minutes, we'll be having an interview with Claudia Berry, so stay tuned for that. Reaching back into the past now for Peter and Gordon.
Here now is your Wednesday event schedule. The electronic rock group Tangerine Dream is in Munich tonight at 8 at the Circus Krone. Elvis Presley's 1963 film Viva Las Vegas will be on the third program of Bavarian Television tonight at 8:15. The film is in German and will be followed at 9:45 with the English-language news program News of the Week. News of the Week is a weekly news roundup in English in the third program of Bavarian Television. The Circus Krone continues performances in Augsburg. The shows are going on twice daily at the Kleine Exerzierplatz. On the Munich Opera schedule, tonight at the Gärtnerplatz Theater, Die Entführung aus dem Serail by Mozart. Tomorrow, Der Vogelhändler by Zeller. At the Nationaltheater, tonight, The Bordered Bride. Tomorrow, Die Entführung aus dem Serail. And jazz continues tonight at the Domicile Club with drummer Alphonse Mousson and his group. And that's a look at the event schedule for a Wednesday.
Fontaine from Frankfurt comes alive, and do you feel like I feel, like we feel? And it's time for us to boogie on out of here and make way for news on the hour and Charlie Tuna. But before we split, take the back, bring back some memories. Peter Townsend and The Who. And you know this one for sure. It's Pinball Wizard. Thanksgiving weekend for 1976, and it all started years ago with the Puritans celebrating Thanksgiving because they were saved from the nasty winter and the elements. And this, a couple of centuries later, I would think we ought to reflect back and celebrate Thanksgiving now because we were saved from the Puritans. AFN Frankfurt's top of the morning. Your sugar-coated breakfast flake Army Specialist Benny Brown clearing out. It's been a grin having Bremerhaven with us this morning. We do hope you get a letter in the mail today, and we'll dig you on Monday morning. AFN Frankfurt's top of the morning. You have a nice weekend, and we do hope you get a letter. Bye!
This is the American Forces Network, Europe.
When your car is traveling 50 miles per hour, it takes 55 feet for the brakes to start working and 186 feet to actually stop. At 40 miles an hour, it takes your body 44 feet to react, and by the time your car stops, it's traveled 128 feet. When your auto is going 30 miles per and finally stops, it's moved 80 feet. And at 20 miles an hour, overall stopping distance is 43 feet. If you're not watching the whole picture, your friends could be hearing about your obituary over AFN Bremerhaven.
Central European Time is 9 o'clock.
AFN News from the wires of the AP and UPI.
Good morning. This is Paul Macko reporting that President Ford is asking his federal... Now for a look at the latest from the world of sports, here's Air Force Sergeant Phil Jarson.
Relief pitcher Raleigh Fingers signed a multi-year contract with the San Diego Padres. That's a look at sports. Air Force Sergeant Phil Jarson reporting.
News and sports from the wires of UPI and the AP. Paul Macko reporting. The next news in 55 minutes at 10 on AFN.
For in-depth coverage of the news, read your Stars and Stripes. On the editorial pages, you'll find the satirical wit of column.
And taking a look at our musical clock on the wall, it says it's just 10 minutes before 7 o'clock this morning. Now for Corporal Raymond E. Lopez and his friend Menfee from Lilo and Inga. Here's Buddy Morrow and his orchestra with a vocal by Frankie Lester and the quartet. And the
Wanna be a junkie, wow.
You wanna be a junkie, wow.
Remember Baby Freddie's dead.
Remember Freddie's dead.
You're into that stuff, baby. Next time you see your local pusher, see how good he lives off of your habit, right? Curtis Mayfield, Superfly, Let's Go Gold, back a couple of years at Tom Jones. And it's not unusual, just for you on the AFN Dance Party.
America's Voices Radio.
Tom Jones and Solid Gold, it's not unusual. 16 past 2, 1973. And since this is a dance party there, gang, let's go around to the interesting people around the area in our party there. Hello, dear. How are you?
Oh, Captain, you naughty pilot, you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so this is what they mean by friendly skies, eh? Really?
Oh, my
Captain,
goodness.
don't you think we ought to cool it till we get into the clouds?
I think it's because you rock and roll so well, dear. Gary Glitter had 2 hits in 72. Oh, I Love You by Baby Ruth. There. That's Shellcat just for you. The AFN Dance Party, and here's somebody else over in the back in the corner there.
They asked me if it was true that 6 out of 10 students are illiterate. And I said, yes.
Yes.
Some of them can't even write or read.
I see. Right. Well, just extremely funky, baby. Stevie Wonder. Little superstitious. Just for you. World news coming up. Sugar Bowl. So warm up your football there, gang. Keep it right close to your radio speaker, like this fellow here.
The way these kids are dressing today is something shocking.
Shocking?
Why, I saw a young couple just yesterday. He had short hair and trousers.
My goodness.
And she was wearing long hair and a dress.
Oh,
now, you know, it's getting so you can't tell the boys from the girls anymore.
That's true.
And you wonder if they can.
I think so, too, there. Billy Paul can tell between the boys and the girls. Because now he's got the bread to do it, I guess. Right? #1 song. Me and Mrs. Jones. Baby. We got a thing going on. That's Billy Paul there. Me and Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on. Up and wonder what Mrs. Jones doing to poor Billy there. Wonder what Billy's wife is really like there.
Isn't it simply amazing? If Edison hadn't invented the light bulb, we'd all have to watch TV by candlelight.
Now I can see why. All I can say is right on there, Billy Paul, baby. And a wife like that, my goodness. John Wayne said once, drop your guns, April Wine. Well, that's a group called April Wine. Drop your guns, right off their album there. If you're driving out there, please drive with care, all right? One musician said, it's a little corny, but it says a lot in it. A good musician friend of mine said, if you see sharp, you won't be flat. Okay, so think about that while you're driving. Remember, it's 60 miles an hour, and if you hit a tree or something there, gang, just hang it up, all right? So next time you go driving past a tree or a guardrail or something like that, if you're driving right now, just Just sort of look at that and then think about yourself smashing into it, okay? It's kind of a heavy thought, but it happens. So maybe that might slow you down a little bit if you're thinking about it. New Year's is a happy time, so let's make it a happy time and be safe drivers, all right? Here's something about a Jay Giles band. Now, it wasn't a hit or anything, but 72 brought in quite a bit of the old rock and roll style, the gritty, just, 3 guitars and a drum and getting it on, right? So, Jay Giles... That's going to do it for the AFN Dance Party from our Kaiserslautern studios. I'm Specialist Bob Cummings, hoping you have a great, great new year. Make it 1 million times better than last year, all right? Remember to break the hate habit. Make your New Year's resolutions and keep them, baby. News is next on AFN. Drive with care, stuff like that, huh? Specialist Bob Cummings saying thank you for putting me on.
The modern soldier, sailor, and airman has to be able to cope with highly complicated equipment. He's got to have savvy in modern tactical concepts. And he's got to have professional competence and leadership ability. In short, today's military careers require capabilities that add up to quality, and quality is you. Stick with it.
Time for another visit with Highway Officer Justice Doug.
Officer, I'm late for my croquet tournament.
Did you know you were driving in front of 6 fire engines?
But it's my turn to mow the lawn.
The lawn?
Look, if I'm late, the players hit each other.
Hit each other?
With the croquet balls.
Croquet ball.
That grass gets pretty high.
Pulling over for emergency vehicles only takes a minute.
Well, okay, but you explain that to 12 guys swinging croquet mallets.
When you hear emergency vehicles, please pull over. A public service message from the National Automobile Dealers Association and this station.
AFRTS, solid gold.
Jim Pewter. That's Earl Richards there. Margie, who's watching the baby. Just goes to show you, anytime you get uptight about your sweet little old lady, don't do anything drastic.
Just call Ralph Nader and he'll have her recalled.
Yes, that way you won't have any problems. How are you? This is Monday. Gene Price, right in the other room. His name is Denny, and then we have Frank, who's our producer. And, hey, some mail came in on you guys, and they said they want to thank you, honest to goodness. And I said, well, I just thanked you, so that's about all we can do for right now. In the meantime, we're going to play some George Hamilton songs. As the record started, I mentioned, I still feel that's one of the better country songs that I've heard, in just absolutely years. Nice arrangement, good words, everything.
Hey, aren't you going to talk about drugs and stuff like that?
Well, we had Sergeant Grider outside. Is he out there, son? Here he comes.
Okay, at ease, everybody.
Sergeant, good to see you. How you feeling?
Don't try to make me feel good. Don't smile. I'm in a rotten mood, and I want to stay that way for the rest of the day, because I got work to do.
Oh, well, all right, Sergeant. Go right ahead here. What's happening?
Want to remind everybody all drugs, whether prescription or over-the-counter, have to be checked out by the Food and Drug Administration. And that's so you, the consumer, know that the items that, you buy can be taken safely in proper dosage. Understand what I'm telling you?
Oh, yes.
Well, the Federal Trade Commission makes sure the advertising of a pharmaceutical? Yeah, whatever it was you said, that's right. The advertising of that product is backed up by the contents inside the bottle. Now, 2 governmental agencies, the Food and Drug Administration and the Federal Trade Commission, helping to protect you and your family from dangerous or misleading drugs. That is all.
Thank you, Sergeant. It's good to have you with us. And could I play you a song?
Anything that will keep me in this kind of mood, because I got to go out to drill practice, and I don't want to catch myself smiling a whole bunch.
Sergeant, good to see you. Take care now.
Boy, old Sergeant Grider, he's all right. I'd sure like to be in his platoon.
Why, Willard, that guy was so tough, he'd have straightened you out years ago. Hank Williams, Jr.
Till you're here with me again, by my side, like your best friend. All I ask when you come home again is come home clean, baby, come home clean. I've been saying it over and over, baby, come home clean, come home clean, baby,
Our U.S. dollar was up in trading against the West German mark today.
The fix of the dollar at 2.6847 gives our exchange rate a boost of 1 pfennig. Tomorrow at all military banking facilities, your dollar will buy 2 mark, 66 pfennig. That's the latest news. Airman Pam Windsor reporting. At this time, AFN has one special announcement. American civilian Kenneth Aud, believed to be traveling in Central Europe, please contact your brother or sister in Warren, Michigan at the following telephone number. Area code 313-264-3226. Again, repeating, American civilian Kenneth Aud, believed to be traveling in Central Europe, please contact your brother or sister in Warren, Michigan at the following telephone number. Area code 313-264-3226. Special announcements are a public service of AFN.
News World Weather.
The Central European forecast for tonight calls for cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and locally dense morning fog. Lows tonight will range from 48 to 54. The forecast for tomorrow is for a little better weather. There will be short periods of sunshine, but skies will remain mostly cloudy, and there will still be a chance for some afternoon showers. Highs tomorrow will range from 62 to 68. Here's how it is at major German cities at 6 p.m. Berlin and Nuremberg 54, Frankfurt and Stuttgart 59, Bremerhaven 52, Munich 50, and Bonn 61. With News World Weather, this is Air Force Sergeant Chuck Grubb reporting.
News World Sports. Good evening, everyone. Milt Fitzwater reporting. The National Basketball Association will be college football ranks and another coaching change. Details from specialist Stan Kosmowski.
Jimmy Johnson, who turned Oklahoma State into a winner in just 5 years as head coach, has agreed to a multi-year contract to take over the head coaching reins of the University of Miami football team.
Are not familiar with all the complications of pregnancy, delivery, or care of the newborn. So to help out, the Nuremberg Community Health Nurses have set up classes for expectant parents on the first Monday and Wednesday of each month. In it, you'll find out all the important facts about prenatal care, view a variety of films, and even take a tour of the hospital's OB ward. To get more information, call Nuremberg Civilian 653-5944. With you 24 hours a day, we're the Tower of Power, AFN Nuremberg.